Good evening, Warrior fans. Just made it back home from the Socorro Warrior Robertson game, the season opener of the 2023 season. The Robertson Cardinals came out in the first half really strong, putting up 4 touchdowns on the board. Yes, 28 points, while the Warriors were trailing behind at 0. If I remember correctly, the Warriors did end up scoring a touchdown, but had missed the extra point going into half. Coming out from the half, the Warriors sure did put up a fight, and they went ahead and scored another touchdown, and this time the kick was good, bringing the score to 28-13. Unfortunately, that's where the score remained for the remainder of the game, and of course there was a lot of mistakes made by the Warriors, but I do have to commend the young team for coming together and winning the second half. I mean, that's a pretty hard thing to do, especially against the number one ranked Robertson Cardinals. Myself, we fell victim to the Cardinals' wrath in 2021 season, my senior year, in the state semifinals. When you look at the schedule and you see that the Cardinals are the number one team and they're our first opponent, you start to wonder, well, if the Warriors win this game, I don't think they lose a game this season. But they ended up losing the game, and I feel like this is a pretty good thing for the Warriors coming off of a very successful season last year as kind of an awakening, so to speak. The Warriors definitely have a lot to work on, but I did see a lot of great things out there today and a lot of potential for improvement. I don't see why the Warriors won't be one of the, if not the top ranked team in the class of 3A, and I definitely see them going to the playoffs. But once again, this is Moises Castillo with Warrior Talk, and we'll be reporting to you with every single Warrior football game. Hello, I'm Moises Castillo, and welcome to Warrior Talk. We've got a pretty good show here for you today at Keswava Cafe. Introducing first, she is an athlete for the Socorro Warrior Athletics, participating in the sports of volleyball and a dancer for the Charisma Blues dance team. Give a warm welcome to Kayana Acosta, the class of 2024.
Hi, I'm Kayana. I'm a senior this year, and I'm just really hoping for a good turnout this year for all my sports.
Well, Kayana, great to have you on the show. I want to emphasize to the fans, Kayana was chosen by her volleyball coaches, so she is here as the Warrior of the Week, representing Socorro Warrior Volleyball. Kayana, first off, I'd like to get started by asking you how sports were introduced to you in your life.
So dance, like I've been dancing since I was like 2. My mom just grew up doing dance as well, so thought she could share with me, my sister and I. And volleyball, I started in 2nd grade, and yeah, just continued ever since then.
And so, oh, that was extremely loud. Sorry about that. So with your extensive career in sports, you're in your younger days. I'm sure you have a lot of fond memories of competing in dance, of course, and in volleyball. Do you have any you'd like to share?
So for dance, I was part of a dance team, and we went to nationals, and we got first, actually, in California. And volleyball, we went to state my sophomore year, and it was a good experience.
And so, with volleyball, being that this is the sport that you're here for today, what exactly do you expect out of the team this season? I mean, being that you're one of the seniors, I would imagine you have high expectations within yourself, taking on somewhat of a leadership role.
I just hope that we could get pretty far and just bond more as a team, because last year we did kind of crash down a little bit, and we're trying to rebuild that, and I'm glad to see a lot of improvement from last year.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be out there on the court and cover you guys. In case you didn't know, other than the podcast, I also do pre and post game interviews and stuff. So I'm sure we'll have you back on the channel in some way, shape, or form for a volleyball game. Um, like to hit my next bullet point. We were talking about volleyball and dance being the two sports that you mainly do, correct?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had your mic turned down. You said that was yes?
Yes.
So what I'd like to do is, between the two, what is your favorite?
That's hard because they're like two completely different things, you know. So like, I'd probably say volleyball because it's, I guess, more competitive in a way. And yeah.
Okay. I honestly was expecting you to say dance. I really was, because of how long you've been involved. So it's your senior year. I'm sure a whole bunch of emotions are running through your head and your mom's head. We'd also like to say hello to mom sitting here with us today at Quesuave. And but I'm sure the emotions are running high, being that you're graduating in just a few short months. What are some of your greatest high school memories and or sports memories?
I just being like with my friends all the time, just doing us and hanging out all the time, and yeah. For sports, I would say probably going to state for both dance and volleyball. For dance, we've placed third the past 3 years, and volleyball, it was just a good experience to like go and see what it was like around there.
Now, along with your greatest memories in high school, I'm sure you've seen some crazy stuff happen around that place. And of course, I'm sure you've seen some crazy stuff happen around a field, being that you're part of the dance team, and more specifically with football. Do you have any wild story that you've never really told on air before, but you'd like to share today?
Um, I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Man, I try to pry everything out of these kids when they come on to the show, and for one reason or another, nobody ever has anything to say, but that shows a good thing to y'all's character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to disclose any information that's incriminating in any way. So I get you. I still do that to this day. So I mean, we kind of touched on what you expect from your senior year in your sports, but as far as like school-wise goes, I'm sure you're headed to college afterward, and so finishing off your senior year and entering in your freshman year of college, what are some of the expectations running through your head?
I just kind of like expect myself to be more involved with people because I feel like I'm like really closed off as a person. So I just want to get out there and like meet new people, make friends. I love my friends now, but meeting new people and getting out of my comfort zone would definitely be something different for me.
And as far as college goes, are you looking to be a student athlete in school or just a student?
As of right now, I'm looking to be just a student, but if other doors open, then I'll take those chances.
That might be one of the best answers I've ever heard on the show. That's perfect. Good open-minded answer. Along with being open-minded, are you guns up or are you go bows?
Go Bows.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's what I like to hear. Lobos all day long. In case you didn't know, I had just finished my freshman year at UNM myself. So, go Bows all the way. They got a pretty good dance team themselves. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past you to not try out for them or something.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Who do y'all play your first volleyball game?
We play Magdalena actually.
And that is Tuesday the 22nd, correct?
Yes.
And that's in Magdalena?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And so, I mean, Mag, obviously there's a big rivalry between the two, us and Mag. So, what are you thinking? Are you like gung ho, like ready to ready to throw down if necessary, or?
No. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Definitely, but I think we might have a good chance. We're both are competitive, so I think it'll be a good game.
Well, and along with you guys having a good chance, I know that you guys have a fairly new coaching staff. So, what do you think? Being that you were with Miss Malden and Mr. Malden the past, what was it, 2 years, 3 years? And so, what do you think? How's everything looking as far as coaching goes? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Tell us about it.
I like it. Like their coaching styles are different, but I think it's really good. We do a lot of different drills and stuff, and Jaden is like a really good coach, and she did step up like a lot.
And so, do you feel like your players, respond well to the coaching staff, or do you feel like there's a bit of a disconnect, being that it's so brand new?
No, I think we all like connect very well with all three of the coaches. It's like a good environment.
That's great to hear. I caught a little bit of your guys' practice the other day, and I mean, you guys look pretty coordinated. You know what I mean? I have a lot of high hopes and good faith about the volleyball season this year. Um, so, best of luck to you guys, of course. But as far as dance team goes, I know that you guys have kind of taken the school by storm. Slowly growing throughout the years and progressing, and now I feel like you guys are not necessarily at your peak, but you're in a really good position as a dance team. You know what I mean? You guys are really united with each other. At least from my point of view, you guys are really united with each other, really in sync. And so, I'm not sure if you guys have any competitions this season, but if you do, how do you feel about them?
I'm actually pretty excited. We're doing like way more competitions this year. I think we have like 6 competitions, and they'll start in January. And I'm like really excited to go to like different competitions than we have from the past, because each competition is different. So it brings something different every time.
And if you could please, because I wasn't aware of the competitions, just give us not necessarily dates, but locations of where you guys are going to be dancing, if you know off the top of your head.
I know we'll be in Las Lunas, Bernalillo, Albuquerque, and Las Cruces for sure. I think those are the main places. Those where our competitions will be.
And so I'm still trying to get familiarized with the dance community. You know what I mean? Especially doing all this stuff, I really want to learn everything about every sport, but I'm not sure if it's necessarily like an opponent-based sport. But say it was, who would your guys' toughest opponent be? Who are you striving to beat?
St. Michael's, definitely.
God dang St. Mike's. God dang it.
They're really good dancers, and Sandia Prep too. Those are like who we get third to, and they switch off. So, yeah.
Yeah, St. Michael's, they're good at dancing, they're good at golfing, they're good at football, baseball. It's a little bit unfair if you ask me, but that's just totally biased opinion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So St. Michael's, okay. And so, like you were saying, you guys have, received third and stuff like that along your dance career. So, I mean, personally, as a dancer, being that you've done it all these years, how can you guys achieve a win over them? What's something that you could do differently as a team, as a group, to get that number one position, to take it away from St. Michael's or I'm sorry, the second one. Who was the second one?
Sandia.
Sandia. What do you guys think you could do?
I I think probably just being more in sync a little bit and a little bit more stronger. Cause we're there, I think but we could hit it a little bit better.
Okay. So it's just more of a training thing then.
Yeah.
You guys just need a train really hard. I shouldn't say a lot more training because, like I say, your guys' halftime performance yesterday that was probably one of the best ones I'd seen you guys put on. So I mean, I commend you guys for that.
Thank you. Um, we got that dance from a camp, or her name was Sloan, and she came down and taught us our routines. We have two routines that she taught us, and then she's gonna come back and teach us another one for state.
You know, and oh my goodness, that scared the heck out of me. That was way too loud in my headphone right here. Sorry about that. Um, you know, I am really happy at the fact that your coaches are able to recognize where help is needed and are open-minded enough to bring in the help and to, you know, do the choreography for routines and show routines and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that helps your coaches out too because it's Jill and Deanna, correct?
No,
No.
actually, Jill's not coaching this year.
Really?
For dance.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
It's Deanna and Stephanie Bunning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you heard it here first, folks. I did not know that. Well, okay. So, wow. So, I guess that opens up the floor for another question. How do you feel about Coach Jill being gone?
It's definitely heartbreaking. I liked her as a coach, but she has other things to worry about, which I'm glad she gets to go places to watch her son play and do stuff with her kids more instead of with dance. But yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, always, always knowing Jill as kind of not necessarily the founder, but the one to reintroduce, you know, dance back to the high school and all that stuff. That's really a good thing, and it's good that she was able to walk away from it and hand it over to somebody. And so, I mean, I'm sure the rest of the girls probably feel the same way that you do. So, how are you guys coming together to kind of persevere from that? Because losing a coach is hard.
We kind of just go with the flow, I guess, and just go along with whatever's happening. Because we know that Jill's always supporting us from wherever. She'll always be there while we're performing, and yeah.
Well, I mean, we've talked a lot about dance, probably more about dance than volleyball, and you're here for volleyball, so sorry about that. I know you more as a dancer than a volleyball player. That's kind of why. But a little bit more on volleyball. So, I mean, I guess opening up the floor to kind of a reiteration of the same question, who's your guys' team to beat for volleyball?
As of right now, it's Mag.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was going to be another, like, St. Mike, Sandia type team.
I don't think we play St. Mike's in volleyball. Yeah, no. We have a Sandia prep tournament, and we do play Sandia. We do pretty well with keeping up with them, but I think Mag is definitely a game for us.
Well, I mean, it kind of sounds like I need to make my way out to Magdalena then and check out that game. Well, heck, I didn't realize that. Now I'm excited for it. Now, like, I want to go up there and check out that game and see what it's all about. And so what's your guys' season looking like this year? Do you have a relatively tough schedule, or is it moderate? How would you judge it?
I feel like it's kind of like the same every year, pretty much. Playing the same teams.
And district? How's district looking?
I think Tier C might be a good game, too, because they're really good at volleyball as well.
Now, being that you're a senior, you've seen a lot of new people come in. So, you know, if you had to, and you have to, shout out a newcomer for the volleyball team, who would it be? Who just makes your heart happy to see them play and give it their all?
Like a freshman? Or like anyone?
Just anyone. Just anyone.
Um, Probably Morgan Perkins.
Morgan Perkins. Morgan Perkins. Well, looks like we need to get her on the show then. You heard it from the Warrior of the Week. Morgan Perkins is runner-up, I guess, huh?
Yeah, she's definitely fun to be around and always making me laugh and just joking around all the time with her.
Well, Kayana, I mean, if you have any last words, any words of inspiration, stories, floor is yours.
Just to anyone that's coming up to play volleyball or wanting to play volleyball, I say go for it and keep going and never give up on yourself.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've had the honor here today to sit down and have a nice conversation with Miss Kayana Acosta, class of 2024, and this week's Warrior of the Week for Lady Warrior Volleyball. And you can catch the Lady Warriors in Magalina on Tuesday, the 22nd, playing at 4?
I think 5.
Playing at 5. Well, Kayana, this is all I have for you today. I'm really happy for you, and I really wish you the most success coming through in your season. And while we're here on air, I want to present you with Warrior Talk's Warrior of the Week.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, if you want to say that again, sorry.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being on. Alrighty. And now, as we get ready for our next guest, I would like to give a special thanks to our sponsors. For all of your design needs, check out APO Express, the one-stop shop for Warrior apparel. Do you have a sweet tooth? Well, I know just the place. Stop by Candyland to fill your candy cravings. This production is brought to you by 6112 Entertainment. The Loma Theater now playing The Sound of Freedom until August 20th, 2023. And on August 30th, 2023, there will be a free viewing of Clifford the Big Red Dog brought to you by the Socorro Public Library. Showtimes are available at lomatheater.com. And last but most certainly not least, Que Suave Cafe, serving the community and youth one cup at a time. Now introducing our next guest, he is an SHS alumni from the class of 2005, participating in the sports of wrestling and baseball. He is currently competing and made his BKFC debut on August 11th, 2023, making his 24th professional bout. Let's give a warm welcome to Richard the Rattlesnake Montaño.
How's it going? I'm Richard Montaño. What's going on, boy? How's it been today?
Oh, you know, a little rocky, still trying to figure things out.
Hey, it's a learning process. It's what happens, and you'll get this.
Yeah. We'll see. During high school, you played, or you participated in wrestling and baseball. So between the two in high school, what would you say your favorite was?
Well, wrestling. Wrestling was more fun. You got to go out and enjoy it. Baseball, you just go out and be in the sun all the time, so it wasn't as fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, that goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Montaño has always had a knack for martial arts and physical sports. We'll go ahead and chop up the high school section with just what are some of your greatest memories from your time in school?
Like younger kids nowadays don't enjoy going to school. We used to like going to school. We looked forward to it. We go just to see our friends, do our work, and have a good time with everyone. And that's the best part about it. And then graduating. Never thought I was going to do that.
Well, I mean, that pretty much sums it up. I don't really understand why nobody likes going to school. I used to love it, but then again, I mean, it is what you make it, right? So if you have a good time in school and if you make every day count, then you're not going to have a bad time.
Yep, that's true. Like, you have to go over there and enjoy what you're doing, and that's the same thing with this whole fighting thing now. Is I enjoy doing it, so I have fun with it.
I'm glad you brought up the fighting, because that'll actually take us into our next section. So you mentioned that sports were kind of just thrown at you, but more specifically fighting. How did that become something that you wanted to pursue professionally?
I just enjoyed it. Like mixed martial arts was always like a new up and coming thing whenever we were in high school, and I was like, I want to try it. I used to fight with my brothers, used to wrestle, so I boxed when I was younger, so it was just natural. I just went with it.
And so, fighting, you seem like, not even seem, your record shows you have 24 bouts, and that was throughout the years, and you fought alongside my dad in some mixed martial arts bouts and stuff like that. But like in the early years of fighting, the glory days, so to speak, what were some of your like best experiences? Some things you'll never forget.
The first time walking in the ring, you'll never forget that. The first time you got you got in your very first match, you go over there and you're like wow, and then after that it's just you're having fun with everyone, like training with your dad, training with my brothers, and it was just an enjoyable thing because you had everyone going. Like once one person sees you, you encourage other people to do it, so it's even better.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know really the fighting aspect of things and kind of walking into a ring, but I'm sure you walk into, well, like you just did in a sold out arena, the sold out Tingley Coliseum, or even just a backroads martial arts bout, in a small town. I'm sure the feeling never changes. It's still, you feel on top of the world when you're in there.
Yeah, you feel on top of the world no matter what. You're going in there to because you love the sport, and then to please the crowd. You want to show everyone that you're not scared to get in there, show them that you have heart. And that's for anyone that steps in that ring. It's not only for me, it's not only for my competitor, it's for every other person that steps in there.
So that'll bring me to the next portion I'd like to cover. So being that you were out of the game for a little bit, do you want to give us a more or less exact time of how long you were out of fighting?
13 years probably, around there.
So, I mean, coming off of a 13-year hiatus, tell us a little bit about the preparation and training you went through for your most recent bout.
Just much cardio as I could get in at the time, you know what I mean? Bigger person trying to lose weight, so how to drop weight, try to do cardio at the same time, try to hit mitts, and just preparing myself mentally. I think more was more of the aspect, because the physical part I knew would come along eventually.
And so you mentioned trying to train cardio as much as you could, getting back in the swing of things, of working out every day, being on a strict training regimen. I'm sure you were on some sort of diet or another, coming off of 13 years of not having to worry about all that stuff. Was that hard for you mentally in any way at all?
Yeah, mentally, physically, both of them. You had to cut down to no breads and no sugars. No, you can't drink cokes. You can't like drink or eat certain things. And then the last week you have to just eat salads. There's no meats involved, and I'm like, oh, okay, man. Yeah.
And that is exactly, ladies and gentlemen, why I didn't do boxing. It's not because I'm scared to get hit in the face. It's because I'm scared to give up McDonald's. That's why.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to give up fast food. You have to give up restaurant food. You have to give up everything. You're like, guess I'm a rabbit.
So was it worth it though?
Always worth it. Go out there and enjoy it.
So, I mean, kind of based off of the question I just asked you on whether it was worth it or not. So when you were reintroduced into the limelight, how did it feel? I mean, you step onto that small stage, at starting at the walkway. You step onto the small stage. They announce your name. Everybody goes absolutely insane. I mean, I'm pretty sure half the audience there in Tingley was there supporting you solely. So how did that feel?
It felt awesome. It's just like another, you feel out of the world. You're walking up, everyone's yelling, cheering for you, and you're just looking around, and then everyone's just going and just giving you excitement, giving you that more I don't know how to explain it, like more heart to get into there and just to show everyone that, like, yeah, I got you guys.
And so when you make it to the ring in a sold out Tingley Coliseum, like, what's running through your head? Because I'm sure you got to be going at least 1,000 miles an hour.
I'm thinking I want to hit this guy's head off. I'm looking at the crowd. I'm excited for the crowd being there, happy that they're cheering me on, but I'm more wanting to knock the guy's head off or punch the guy at least. Try to hit him a few times. He was taller than me, so I wanted to try to hit the person's head off, trying to just do whatever I can to get the win. And unfortunately, this time I didn't. But there's a winner and there's a loser, and it's part of the game.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. So give us, from your point of view, being in the ring and, being the fighter, give us your evaluation of the fight. Because I'm sure you watched the film afterward, but, I mean, you were right there. Nobody has a better look of that match than you. So, I mean, what do you think happened?
Well, we were going pretty good. There's a couple different things that could have happened and didn't happen. One was the referee stopped it for a standing 8 count. Shouldn't have. They should have stopped it if he would have fouled, or if he would have got stoppage whenever I was punching him, like they did on me, or warn him to, or make sure he kept his hands closed when we were fighting the whole time. But part of the game, like I said, it happens.
I feel like you're being a little modest there because we're on air, but I understand though. Just kind of want to talk a little bit more about kind of the earlier days of your fighting. Revert away from the most recent bout. What was your success rate within your 23 bouts before the one that you most recently competed in?
I was like 60-40, 60% wins, 40% losses. But it was, whenever I was younger, it's more about, I get to go to California and then go fight over there. So, or I get to go just traveling to get paid to fight is what it was. I get to get a free motel room, free food, and then I get paid for it on top of it. So, and it was exciting to go different places to meet or see different things, and then come back and have a payday from it.
I received somewhat of not necessarily the same feeling, but a feeling like you shouldn't be getting paid for that, but you are. When I worked for the Lobo football team, I got paid to sit on the sideline and watch a football game at LSU. I mean, that's one of those things, you shouldn't get paid to do that, but here we are, and I'm sure that's the same feeling for you. So, I mean, I know you guys, and to the viewers that aren't aware, Richard the Rattlesnake Montaño is somebody I refer to as Uncle Richard. And so I know more or less some of these stories, but I'm going to open up the floor to you. What are some of your best stories that you feel fit for the podcast today?
What do you mean by what stories? There's a lot of stories that I can tell, and
whatever you think.
Well, there's stories whenever we play baseball and have fights, or we go to the bar and we have fights, and it's just everything was.
Well, I'll tell you what. Whichever one pops to mind first, tell that one, and if another one comes afterward, keep the train rolling.
The one I remember most, and I was even drunk, but we're playing over here in Socorro. Your dad got hit from the side. Big Moy got hit from the side, and then that was it. The both dugouts emptied, both teams went at it, and our team came victorious because we love to do it. The whole team loved to do it, so that's my best like baseball fight memory, because everyone was just it was just fun, and I was drunk.
That always makes it better, huh? Yeah. Have a little bit of liquid courage.
Yeah, liquid induced. It's not liquid courage. It's liquid induced go.
The flight goes completely out, huh? It's no more fight or flight. It's just fight.
Yeah, it's the fun thing about it.
Yeah, and so kind of in your younger days, what are, I'm sure you guys did some heinous things on the road during fighting and stuff like that. What something that's pretty notable from your youth?
From my fighting days, me and it used to be me and JB will go. Whenever it was just me fighting, I'll go to El Paso, just meet me and JB. JB will be in my corner, or me, and I'll just take one of my friends with me, and they'll go with me, and they'll sit in my corner. And it was not even them being a coach; it's just them going over there for a free fight, and we'll get in the. I just get in the ring, do my thing, and the next day come back home. And it was just a nice cruise, just chilling with the homies and having a good time the whole time.
Did you get to meet anybody worthwhile during your most recent bout? Because I know that BKFC is taking off in a pretty positive direction, and I know that there's a lot of, quote unquote famous people interested in that now. So did you get to meet anybody that was notable?
I met two. One that just became the champion, and then I met a YouTuber. I didn't even know who he was until this fight, but they were both pretty cool. The little one, what's his name again?
His name is. God dang it! What is his name? What's his name? The little guy, John Dotson.
Yeah,
John Dotson. There we go. Thank you to Richard's girlfriend over here, Kayla, for giving us the name of Mr. John Dotson, the new BKFC. What is it? Featherweight champion.
Yeah, featherweight champion.
Featherweight champion, the inaugural featherweight champion.
Yep, and he is one bad dude, one little bad dude.
When I lived in Albuquerque, I actually met him at Target one time. He was sitting there picking up groceries and stuff, and I was like, "Aren't you John Dotson?" And he was all, "Yeah, man, you want a picture?"
Yeah, one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet. Fame never changed him, and that's the best thing about his. Like, you'll see him, talk to him, and that's nice.
I personally witnessed you get a selfie with Holly Holm. How was that?
Not the best experience, honestly. she's a little rude, so I was like, whatever.
At least you got a selfie out of it, huh?
Yeah, at least that, but I'd rather not next time.
And so the YouTuber guy. So I'm personally not fond of this guy because, from what I've seen, he's gotten famous by being a douche. You know what I mean? But how was he? Did you get to talk to him at all? How was he?
Like back there in the back, he was cool. He talked to everyone. He shake their hand, took pictures. Not a douche at all. Like, he was the opposite of what he is on YouTube or TikTok.
Okay, so it's definitely a front that he puts on for whatever reason.
Yeah, for fame. They said he gets paid good money to be a douche, so he's being a douche and getting paid good money for it.
Well, then let the record show. Congratulations, Mr. Bryce Hall, because I was not cheering for you at all.
Yeah, either was I. Thought he was going to get his butt kicked.
All of us did. I was being a little bit more aggressive. Let's just put it this way. My dad's portion of the genetics came out during that fight.
Yeah, that tends to happen at those fights.
As a matter of fact, my dad's portion of the genetics came out during your fight too. My mother, actually, she had lost her voice for about 3 days afterward. I think I was working on about 2 days. We were all whispering to each other around the house because we just, I don't know, that was an insane fight. I had to go over to my grandfather's house, actually, and show him the fight. I mean, everybody I talked to, that was the main thing. Richard's fighting. And it's understandable, though, because, I mean, all of you guys that were known for doing that and solely that have all been in retirement. And for one of you to be like, not only do you want to return to martial arts, but you want to return to boxing. But not only boxing, you want to return to, or you want to make a debut in bare knuckle boxing. Like, nobody does that. But when you say, oh, well, Richard's going to be fighting bare knuckle, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about this is that our little hometown has, like, we have big support over here all the time. I don't care what it is. Our hometown, our Socorro is like a big supporter of anyone that does sports, anything, like from high school and to where I'm at. Like, whatever I do, like, they support me big, and it's one of the greatest things about our town. You don't find like Albuquerque, they don't support their own town, or Belen, they won't support, like, the whole town won't support that one person or their people at all. Like, Like there's a few of them, and then they'll back off, but they're not us, and we're always there. We back each other up no matter what.
And it was really nice to see after the fight and after the whole night was through. As you had mentioned, you had lost the fight, but the support was still there, and it was still being, given and received by you in such an immense way. I mean, it just goes to show you. And I touched on this when my dad was on the podcast that, Socorro is looked down upon by many people, but honestly, the people that look down on Socorro haven't given Socorro a reason to treat them right. You know what I mean? They've probably been negative this whole time, and for guys like you, guys like my dad, Coach Jared, who was on the show last week, all of you guys have contributed to the community as a whole in one way, shape, or form, and that's where the support and love comes in.
Yeah, and that's the best thing about, like I said, the best thing about our community. Like this small business that Jared has, our community, we love it. We come over here. I come over here almost every day to help support. I buy a lot of stuff locally from the small businesses. Like I go to Sophia's, I go to El Camino, we go to the small restaurants. Like we're always trying to support our small businesses because we want to see our town grow. We'd like to see our town grow a little bit. They don't have to be too big, but as long as something's happening, keeping people busy, and that's why I want to start helping with Tivano training and stuff, because we want to keep everyone busy and keep everyone out of trouble basically whenever they get out of high school.
And you know what? And that's a big thing too, because there's a lot of kids that are, and honestly, I hate it when school officials and other people say, well, they're troubled kids. No, they're not troubled. They just don't have a release. They don't have a way to express themselves in the way that they need to. You know what I mean? Not everybody can talk to somebody and feel better. Sometimes you got to hit something. Sometimes you got to sit there and go a couple rounds on the bag, and then you feel freaking happy as could be. And so, I mean, that's a great thing to be involved in and to start up again here in Socorro, because I know that was really big at one point in time, because there was a lot of, kids and adults for that matter, that they just needed a release. And then it also, hey, they got in shape while they were at it.
Yeah, it keeps them busy, keeps them out of trouble, and they're, like how you said, they're not terrible kids. They're just kids that don't know how to talk, and whenever they start hitting mitts, they have a release. Or if they even sparring, they're hitting another person, and then they feel better. They give that other person a hug, and they're friends right after they do it. They're not. They can be probably an enemy, and then be over there sparring, and then they'll be like, okay, why are we mad at each other?
Well, and you think about it that way, and it really like kind of opens your eyes. And I really hope that the viewers are really paying attention to what you're saying, because that's exactly it. Rather than causing 5-6 school fights a week, I mean, if somebody's really got a problem with somebody, say, you know what, I'll meet you at the gym. Spar it out. Nobody's going to get in trouble at the gym. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's where it's encouraged. That's where you can get, risen up for fighting. And a lot of the time that's, that and it could turn into a career. I mean, you proved that yourself with 24 professional bouts, and I'm sure countless non-professional.
Yeah, it's a stress reliever for kids. Go over there. It's a controlled environment. They can't get it where they're tackling them and trying to ground and pound. They'll just be boxing. That's all it is. A box, release some stress, and get it over with. If they want to talk after, be like, hey man, you guys already settled it. Be quiet. You guys be friends now. That's all it is. You're gonna grow older and you're gonna be cool with the dude, and so why are you fighting with them now?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And like you said, it's a controlled environment with, now adults that were once in the same boat, in the same position and mindset as the kids that are coming in. So, I mean, you got my vote. You got my vote, and I would love to, do some coverage on your guys' gym when it's up and running, and, maybe do a couple of shows there or something. That'd be great.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. You would have to talk to the main guys about that one, but I'm pretty sure once we figure out everything, how to do everything, get the gym up and running how we want it to, because we know there's a lot of kids, even in middle school, wanting to do wrestling and then do boxing, because whenever they get older, they want to do mixed martial arts. So, and we're trying to get more kids involved, and then there's some older ones like Sean, how he just graduated, I think 2 years ago, and he wants to do jiu-jitsu, and then he's talking about maybe trying mixed martial arts and keeping him busy. But he has people that he influences that he knows that will go.
Yeah, and that's the main thing. Like the influence from previous athletes, like Sean, and for the viewers out there listening, that goes to show you, Sean, he is probably as straight and narrow as they come. You know what I mean? He kind of has to be, but he wants to be a part of mixed martial arts, and I think that's where a misconception comes. It's not a bad thing. I've been a part in some way, shape, or form of mixed martial arts my entire life, and I don't think I turned out half bad. So, and same with everybody else.
Yeah, it makes a person grow up. You were there. You witnessed your dad train, fight, do all the cage fighting and everything with mixed martial arts and boxing. He did boxing and all that good stuff, and you were there, and it shows you that he did discipline, so you can do discipline on the sports that you wanted to do. Just keep yourself busy, and you'll be good. You'll be better in life, and look where he's at now. He has a great job. Your mom's doing great with her businesses, and it just goes to show you, just keep yourself going all the time. Always push yourself to higher strides.
Well, we're coming up to the end of our little segment here. This is a little segment I like to call "Any Last Words" or "Forever Hold Your Peace."
Be ready for me soon. I'm gonna try to get back in there next 4 or 5 months. So whenever you guys if you guys wanna go see me, even watch me, support me on TV, I'll be there.
Well, that I'm glad you said that, because I actually missed that question. But ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. The Rattlesnake is going to be making another appearance in the squared circle for BKFC. Correct?
Yes, sir. I'll be there again.
Perfect. Well, I had a great time talking to you. I'm really glad that I'm really happy, and thank you very much. I want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to come here on the podcast and just kind of share a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me here. It's always fun over here talking to you personally and on this.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, and me personally, I really look forward to going to the next fight and losing my voice for another 3 days, and God dang, I hope you come out with a victory this time.
Oh, I will. I'll train even harder. I'm going to get down on weight, and I'm going to do some damage or get damaged, one of the two.
Well, I mean, either way, you're gonna put on one hell of a show, because you put on a hell of a show this last time too. As a matter of fact, before we end the segment here, because I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but this one right here, and I'm pointing at Kayla out in the crowd. Okay, she was literally up there. I've never seen somebody go through like 10. She went through like 10, 20 different emotions within like 5 seconds. I swear to God, like you were walking out to the ring, she was bawling her eyes out, couldn't stop. And then you were in the ring, and all of a sudden she looked like she was about to pass out. She was pale, okay? And then all of a sudden you get hit for the first time, and her tears just get sucked right back up into her face, and she's like, "What the is going on?" And I was like, "What's going on right now?" And then throughout the entire fight, it was just a circle. It was like an infinite circle of emotions. It was happy, it was angry, it was crying, it was sad, it was how's the baby, it was it was something insane. And I'm sure that's for everybody, but for her it was like times 10. I know for a fact. I felt bad for her little brother, because he was standing over there like trying to stop her from falling over the damn chairs and stuff.
Yeah, I heard she was going a little crazy over there doing her little emotions. And my old coworker told me, he's all, "Oh, we had her."
As a matter of fact, you know what? We're not done yet. We're not done yet at all, because now it's starting to come back to me. So Tia Clarita, she wasn't there at the fight, and I figure that's for personal reasons, just because, mom, son, whatever. What did she think?
She does not like it at all. She got pissed. She told me off. But she said, "I better not do it again." Yeah, okay, Mom.
Well, and my Uncle Flip, I'm sure he said the complete opposite, huh?
Oh, way complete opposite. He's there supporting me, helping me train, and he's doing 110% to help me get better and better.
Do you think Dia's gonna make it to this next fight, or do you think she's gonna stay at home again?
Oh no, she's staying at home. She'll watch it later or something. She won't watch it at the time being. Or Felipe wants to watch it, so maybe this next time he can go.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine my Tia and Kayla next to each other? Could you imagine like the freaking mix of emotions going through the entire building at that point?
They better watch out for hands, because my mom will end up swinging.
Oh shoot. Ah hell. So do you have a rough estimate of like community members that were there supporting you that night?
I do not have a rough estimate. The ticket sale that I had personally, like on hand, were almost 100, and then that wasn't including online with maybe, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. Probably like maybe 150 that were there that I knew kind of personally, and then there's maybe another 100 that were I knew in the fighting community from whenever I used to do cage fighting.
Yeah, in the section that we were sitting in, which I'm sure is the section that you know were designated with your ticket sales. So I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but you also had fans on the other side of the stadium too that had just bought tickets by themselves and stuff like that, and I mean quite a substantial amount. So you had what looked to be, and this is an official number because of course I wasn't sitting there head counting, you know what I mean, but you look to have at least 200 supporters on the I guess when you're walking out to the ring on the right side, but then on the left side you had to have had at least another 50, 75 supporters coming from over there. I mean, so you know, I would probably put together, and then plus the viewers watching who weren't able to make it. I mean, I wouldn't put it past probably like 500. I would say you probably had about a solid 500 viewers watching live that night, and then who knows how many watched after and continue to watch after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing about like I said about our small town again, our small town. Like we just have our support. Like we have each other's back, and they went out there and supported, and that was nice. And honestly, there probably was over 500, maybe even 600, because the online views and people were there, and so that's why we love our small town.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us a little bit about the boy. How's he doing?
Oh, Jerome, he's doing good. He's growing like a weed over there. He's always happy. 90% of the time he's happy. The only time he's mad is whenever he's hungry or he's tired or he has a dirty diaper.
Well, looks like he'll fit in with the family just fine, because that's most of the time when we're mad as well.
Yeah, and mainly his mom. His mom grumpy, about 5 times a day, hungry, always yelling at me because she wants to go eat, and then I go get her to something to eat. 20 minutes later, I'm hungry.
So you're telling me that the pregnancy cravings never wore off then, huh?
No, far from it. She's probably hungry right now. She's waiting to go eat.
Oh shoot. Well, I'm starting to draw a blank. It was all coming to me. I think I finally said my bit. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is all we have for you today. Thank you to our guest, Warrior of the Week, Kayana Acosta, for the class of 2024. And thank you very much for Richard, the Rattlesnake Montaño, for joining us today. And once again, I would like to give a big thank you to our sponsors, APO Express, Candyland, 6112 Entertainment, Loma Theater, and Quesuave Cafe. Richard, join me in saying goodbye to the crowd. We'll see y'all next time.
And thank you for having me, Moy. See you guys, maybe not soon, but I'll see you guys soon enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll keep you updated here on Richard's fighting schedule as soon as I find out. And we hope to see double the viewing next time, both online and in person. Once again, this has been a blast today, talking with my uncle here. And, just remember, when it comes to a place like Socorro, only warriors survive.